motivate the rest of your team for the rest of the year?
Well, there's no doubt coming back to practice tomorrow morning is amazing. I mean, tomorrow afternoon, I mean, it just the energy in that locker room was unbelievable. The enthusiasm that every guy had, whether he played 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or is redshirting or has an injury. Every single guy was in a mosh pit in the locker room after they were in a mosh pit on the court. And so, I mean, that's just, winning's a habit. And we have to learn how to win. We have to learn how to play ahead. We have to learn how to find a way to win down the stretch. And quite frankly, that's what we've done a little bit this year now, is trying to find a way. Keep it close long enough that you find a way to win the game. And we're so proud of our guys that way.
You said earlier in this season, in an instance of kind of a poor shooting game, the most important thing is to pull off the win and learn from it. What did you guys learn from today?
Well, again, I thought that tonight half of our missed shots were good or great open shots that just don't go in, and that you can't get frustrated. Some of the other missed shots that we had, I thought, were rushed. They were like, we want to try to score against the zone. We want to try to score, and we need to look to shoot. And we did. One thing we did do better, we can continue to lower our turnover total. And that's what we're trying to work on. So you have, a missed shot early in the shot clock with 4 seconds is better than a turnover at 3 seconds. So we kind of told some guys, hey, look, when the shot clock's at 4 or 3, fire the ball up. Donahue took one, Jordan Lewis took one, Jamal took one. Even Malik had to take a falling out of bounds, ugly three-pointer that he got fouled on. Because instead of turning it over and forcing it in the last 5 seconds, just take the shot. And so our turnover total keeps dropping. It gives your offense a better chance to make a basket. Well, now the next part is, okay, now you're not turning it over as much, getting that real quality shot, and then knocking down those, what we call naked jumpers. And that's, again, that's just experience. It's being on the court, possession after possession. Look at Sean Lewis. He's had a lot of games under his belt. When he had the open shot, boom, crunch time, he made it. And now we're getting some contribution from Chris O'Brien, as he's getting 5 games under his belt, 6 games under his belt. And the first thing I said the first game was that, hey, transfers and freshmen take 5 or 6 games to even wake up again. And it's been a year since they played. There's those that can come in and be real major impacts. But guys that haven't played for a year and have only had 1 year under their belt as freshmen, it takes them 5 or 6 games. And so I think we're getting some life out of Chris now, which is 5 for 11 from the field. I'm just looking at stats now. 11 points, 2 assists, 1 turnover in 32 minutes. You compare that to his first 2 or 3 games, you're going like, geez, this guy can contribute this year. We stayed with him. We didn't panic the button. It's kind of like, hey, it's a long season. We know who's done what in practice, but you got to get those reps. You got to get the reps on the court as well.
Coach, talk about what it's going to take to validate this win, so to speak, with another strong performance in your next night on the court.
Well, the nice part about the next games, we're going to do a little light shooting tomorrow. We're going to do some film work. But, we play Loyola Marymount the next game. And so we've got 2 days of prep for a team that we just played against. So, in essence, we don't have to spend the hours in the film room, coaching-wise and player-wise. We can actually get on the court and do what we're going to have to be able to do is, get more fluid on our offense and spend time off. We're going to spend an hour tomorrow shooting the basketball. Offense doesn't work if you don't make the shot. You can draw up whatever you want, but we have shots, and we're not turning the ball over. And so now what we got to be able to do is take that on the road, play that confidence, and then put a string together where we have 4 or 5 guys, maybe 15 or 18 points, and getting that 70 range. But our goal is to score 72 points. We're nowhere near that right now. Our goal also is to defend and rebound, and we're giving an A effort every night defensively and rebounding, and that's putting us. You force 27 turnovers without pressing or trapping all night long. That means you're doing something right from defensive end.
Coach, if I told you before the game they were going to shoot 51%, out rebound you by 10, are you thinking it's a win for you guys?
No. If you look at the most important stat consistently in the NCAA tournament, field goal shooting percentage is the #1 indicator whether you're going to win or lose the game. And so if they were at 51 and we're at 33, I think we're losing by 10 or more. But if you look at if you throw the one stat that can equalize that all is 27 turnovers, and you look at, well, they shot 51%, but they only had 35 shot attempts. Where we had 54 shot attempts, that 31% doesn't kill you quite as bad because we only have 13 turnovers. So there's 14 extra possessions in the game between turnover differential, and that's really what we've been hanging our hat on. And then the rebounding wise, if you look at the number of offensive boards they had, okay. The minimal second chance points they got was at 6, where our offensive boards were at 10. Quite frankly, 2 of those were pretty big. 2 of those were pretty big. Donahue to get it alive and get it back off the glass, and O'Brien and those guys on the weak side not quitting on the game, not quitting on that play through the buzzer, play through the last second, find a way to win. That's his character. You can't coach that. We just talk about competing. Find a way to win. Find a way to do it. Believe in each other, and it's a real huge character win. And we hope that's the momentum builder for the gauntlet coming up. The 5-game gauntlet coming up.
When Chris wasn't playing well those first couple of games, I mean, it wasn't something that you shied away from. You said in the post game, we need more contributions from him. We need more. How did you know that he was the guy who'd be able to respond positively to that instead of take it as a negative?
Well, because he's done it. He did it during practice last year. But it's if any of you golf or any of you do public speaking, you'll understand that golfing's really easy in the driving range. And then you get out front, and it's the fairway, and you put a couple 8 or 10 people watching. It's a little different hit. And the same thing, public speaking. You can read the speech all you want and have it, but you stand up, and all of a sudden the crowd's there in front of you, and you've got to do some public speaking. It changes the dynamics. Chris had proved last year during workouts and during the preseason workouts that he was the guy that could make those plays. Now, he hadn't demonstrated that yet in gameplay. But as coaching staff, we believe that he has done that, and we just called it out what it is. We try to be real sincere with our guys. We don't ever embarrass them, but we say, hey, Chris is key to us. Now, he knows that. Nothing that we haven't shared with him. Hey, you got to keep shooting the basketball. You got to get it going offensively for us. We need another contribution for you. You're the guy that is going to be here for 3 more years. And so I think that our patience and our positive and our direct approach, treat them like young men. Not to baby them, but at the same time, don't belittle them. They really respect that. They don't mind hearing the same thing in the media that they heard already in the locker room and they heard in the office. We have individual meetings, we have team meetings, and we have public meetings. And we just try to be consistent with what we say in those 3 meetings so they don't go, Coach, what are you talking about? I've never heard that. And you do that. Most guys at all professions, I think they really respect that. It's nothing that we're not going to coach you through the media. We're going to do it in the locker room privately. We're going to do it as a team on the floor. And then we're going to go ahead and do it in media and say the same message all the way through. I think the guys respect that.
You came out, to start the game, a lot of energy. I think you jumped on them 14-4. But then you look up at the end of the half and you're down 2. How do you get your team to come back out in the second half with the same energy?
That's a great question. We were very concerned about that. We were really concerned. And the reason I think we had great energy is if you look at defenses in front of our bench in the first half. You got coaches and teammates and redshirt guys on the end of the bench cheering for you, giving you that energy. And when you go back the other half, start the second half, your defense is in front of the opposing team, and you don't have that. So our concern is always that hey, we maybe not going to have that same defensive energy. And actually, I didn't think we did the first possession or 2, and then it kind of caught on there a little bit. They went up by 4 or 5. I don't have the running score, but I think they went up by a bucket or 2 the first minute or so of the second half. We did answer that without having to substitute. And we kind of shortened our rotation in the second half. I think we only played 7 guys in the second half that we felt like a little more confidence with. And we got, the Pendleton kid got a few minutes in the first half. 6'10" kid got a few minutes. Jamal Johnson, back at point guard, got a few minutes in there. But then we shortened that rotation in the second half and went down to 7.
Any other questions, guys?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you. Congratulations.